Yeah, buddy, it's Papa Swole. Welcome to episode 422. Ooh, so round and juicy of the Daily Mother Swole. I am your host, Papa fucking Swolenormous, live every day at 12 noon Eastern Time. You can catch all the episodes on YouTube and also bang your ear holes with these knowledge nukes on SoundCloud and iTunes. Welcome to the Daily Sleazy.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
I am your host, Gainbraham Lincoln, and 80 pounds of lean fucking muscle mass ago, I started training. I started my fitness training. And today, I want to explain one of the lost principles of exercise programming. One of the main things that people just forget when they get started with training, when they write their own programs, when they look into a program, just what is lost. I feel like the fucking fitness Indiana Indiana Jones or Indiana Swole, because there is an archaic, buried, lost fucking city of exercise programming, and we need to get into it right now. When you're starting an exercise program, there is a major principle that is lost. There's a major principle that's lost on anyone that starts training because it's not taught. It's a kind of thing that you should know, but you shouldn't have to know. You should do, but you shouldn't have to learn. It's something that we lose in nature. We're not exercising outside since we're a baby. We're not walking around barefoot as much as we should growing up in our youth and adulthood. We're not as physically active as when we're younger as we should be to activate stabilizer muscles and synergistic action with our, intermuscular coordination and so forth. You ride a bicycle, you do repetitive movements, you play a sport, you sit and play video games. Kids don't freaking work in all planes of motion, climbing trees and doing shit anymore. And it stops, maybe middle school or elementary school, wherever it stops now. Some kids never get out of the house now. It's dangerous and you live in the city, and I get it. It's understandable. But these are things that the body is designed to do. I'm going to talk to you about are things that the body is designed to do. Now, anything that the body can do, it's designed to do. It's just what the human body adapts to, how it reacts, how the muscles work, and how the body will adapt to a stress. And this is how you should approach your exercise, because a lot of you are coming from, let's say, a sedentary position, a sedentary job, a sedentary career, and all of a sudden you're moving. And it's, even though it's something that your body should be aware of and your body is designed to do, it's lost that connection. It's lost that connection. So right now, getting into the meat of it, please, if you have not yet, like and share this broadcast. Papa Swoleo, Swolenormous, and the Daily fucking Swole is blowing up thanks to you. So when you hit that like button, when you mash those hearts, and when you hit that share button and tag people in the comments, it means the world to me. So first off, just a brief intermission before we get into some real fucking knowledge nukes. Thank you to everyone that watches this show daily. I know I see a lot of names pop up in the comments, and I wanted to just take a moment here to appreciate all of you and tell you how much I appreciate your attention and joining me here every day. Whether you're watching this live, some of you might be watching this on YouTube regularly or listening to the podcast. Everyone that has their ear or eye holes jammed with knowledge nukes every day, thank you. I love you all. Thank you for the support. So keep mashing those hearts, keep spreading the love, and keep sharing the Papa Swoleo Daily Swole train, because it's only going to get better from here. This point in the episode is where we're going to jump right into it. What I am talking about, you may have heard me discuss in some of the earlier episodes and some other episodes of Daily Swole. We're getting into stabilization, type 1 fibers, and the balance, the coordination aspect. And one of the things that is often overlooked when people want to get yoked, because I get a lot of messages from all of you. A lot of you are messaging me all the time. Daily, I get tons and tons and tons of new people every day. Hey, I want to lose weight. Hey, I want to get big. I'm looking to get swole. How can I do this? And sometimes the questions are very general. It's like, how do I get swole? How do I teach you everything that I know, that I've accumulated over decades? It's like, I can't just, there's no simple answer for that. It's hard fucking work, and you got to get to it. You got to try different things. You got to work your fucking ass off. That's just the truth. That's just the truth. There's no magic pill. Even if you have the best workout programming in the world, it's going to take you years. You have to put that kind of time into it. And depending on your goal, as lofty as it might be, or maybe short term, it depends on how long it's going to take you, but it takes fucking hard work and time. And don't ever think that it's going to be easy or that there's a simple answer. And half the reason why it takes 10, 20, 30 years to accumulate tons of muscle mass is because fucking half the time you're failing and you're figuring shit out. Really, in 5 years of training, all of a sudden your body reacts differently than it did 5 years before. And then after 10 years of training, your body's gonna react different to training than it did 10 years ago. And after you've been training for 20 years, you have to train differently because your body's gonna react and get sore and get worn down and get injured, different than it did 20 years ago. So you're always developing. It's like you're always learning what's right for your body. So it's a constant fucking give and take. Now, when it comes to training, when it comes to neuromuscular coordination, when it comes to starting a program, and this goes for a lot of you too that have never done this, because if you've never done any kind of coordination training, you are teetering on the brink of an injury, and also you are limiting yourself to seeing as much progress as you could have, because the way the muscles communicate, the way the nervous system communicates, the way the nervous system coordinates muscular movement on a global scale all over the body is really going to relate to how well it can activate certain muscles in isolation. So if you're trying to do a bodybuilding program or bodybuilding routine and you want to get bigger arms or bigger shoulders or bigger lats or bigger legs or bigger calves, in order to get the isolation, you need to teach your body how to coordinate the muscles with it amongst one another, called intermuscular coordination. And you need to also activate the muscles on an individual level, intramuscular coordination. So within and with one another. So it's kind of like having law and politics within the United States and then having international politics and relations. So the way the United States deals with itself is intra, and international. It's the same freaking prefix. And muscular coordination is like us and France or us and Brazil, for example. So when you're training your body, when you're starting to train or when you're hitting a roadblock, chances are you may not be activating the muscles properly. You might be doing squats but not hitting your glutes. You're hitting too much quads because your glutes aren't firing. You might be doing chest but feeling it too much in your shoulders and your anterior deltoid and your triceps because you're not activating your pectorals enough because you have a structural imbalance in the upper body, without getting too detailed with that. But when it comes to coordination, what kind of things can you do? And you might say, right now you're looking at me like, fucking Papa Swolio, that is a knowledge nuke. You just went Nagasaki on my face. What the fuck does that mean? How can I apply that? That sounds all well and good, sounds all scientific. You're mesmerizing with your hair and your beard, but I don't know where that leaves me. Because right now you're like, wow, that sounds cool. What the fuck does it mean for me? How does it affect my life? Well, it's going to affect your training right now, because these are a couple things I'm going to tell you that you can do right away. Rather than, hey, I want to get yoked, what can I do? You don't just walk into a gym and start lifting heavy weights. You don't have that foundation. You can't start building the 6th floor without having 1 through 5 and the fucking basement. So going back to the basics, doing things like super slow push-ups, slow on the way down, slow on the way up, activating your core properly, like you can find in some of my YouTube videos, my exercise videos, how to do a plank properly, how to do a single leg squat properly, how to do a hip bridge properly. Those things are very, very important in order to create that foundation and to balance out the body. What you can do if you're just lifting weights, if you want to trigger some of these benefits just from whatever you're doing right now with the dumbbells or barbells. You can start doing some slower movements. Take a little bit more time on the eccentric, the lowering part of a chest press, the lowering part of a pull-up or a row, the descending portion of a squat or a lunge. Increase the time under tension, drop the weight a little bit, and activate a little bit more of those endurance fibers. Activate a little bit more of that slow twitch modality, and make sure that you're doing free weight exercises rather than machine exercises. Those are some of the things that can begin to get you a little bit more turned on neurally, so to speak. You can also get into active recovery techniques and mobility work such as yoga. That's right, Austin, those SFGs, those sick fucking gains. If you want those sick fucking gains, most people don't think about yoga. You know Papa Swole pushes yoga so fucking hard because it teaches your body how to move in multiple planes of motion, front to back, side to side, rotationally. It will prevent you from, well, it will reduce your risk of getting injured. Nothing's perfect. You can still tear your ACL if you do yoga. You can still hurt your back if you do yoga. You can still get hit by a fucking car if you do yoga. There's nothing that is 100%, but what you can start doing is looking towards, not towards the heavier weight, but start working backwards and going back to the source. Not just where do you want to go, but have you done everything right up until this point? So if you just started halfway, like I need to get in shape, I'm gonna start lifting weights, but you start at the midpoint and you didn't do all the steps getting up to that, you don't have a strong foundation. Your body is going to be imbalanced. You are a ticking time bomb that can hurt your rotator cuff, hurt your lower back, hurt your knee, your forearms, elbow pain, neck pain. You know, if you're starting right in the middle, you haven't done the work to build up to that point, right? You're starting halfway. It's just like Mike Tyson's Punch Out. It's just like getting a code for Mike Tyson and not doing the fucking work to get past Glass Joe and that big fat guy and all the way up. I forget all the ones all the way up. Come on, where are my Nintendo peeps at? Float some hearts and float some thumbs if you remember Mike Tyson's Punch Out. The original, not the fucking remakes. I'm talking about the original. The original. It's like getting Mike Tyson code. It's like getting the code for Tyson and just skipping all the way to Tyson. That's what it is. Just going to the gym and lifting heavy. That's what the fuck it is. You have Mike Tyson's code for Punch Out. You're going right to Tyson. And let me tell you what, you're going to get laid the fuck out. That's right, little Mac. You're going to get absolutely shut down. So don't be that guy or girl. Don't be that person. Don't be that asshole. Don't be that asshole. Come on, we're here. I'm trying to help you not be a dick. Don't be that piece of shit that just goes to the gym and I'm go arm circles. I'm warm now. Let me just start fucking benching. Let me start, don't just lift weights and don't just look for how much stronger can I get. I'm trying to gain 5 pounds, trying to get a little bigger arms, bigger chest. Don't just look for the future. You need to look backwards a little bit and realize whether or not you built the right foundation in order to go further, in order to see progress, in order to make a difference. Because if you haven't gotten the beginning down, you might survive. Some people smoke every day, a pack a day until they're 90 and they don't have lung cancer. And then again, some people never smoke a day in their life and they get lung cancer. But just don't be that person that suffers an injury that was preventable. And you'll never know. You'll never know, like, oh, I hurt my shoulder. If I did yoga, it wouldn't have happened. Not necessarily true, but doing mobility work, doing stability training, doing some of the shit that we talk about in premium and that I'm talking about tomorrow in the premium workshop, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. by the way, it's not tonight on Wednesday, it's Thursday, tomorrow at 8 p.m. for those of you that are in my premium group, link in the description if you're interested in that workshop. But it's just like we're talking about today. The workshop tomorrow night is just like today, but getting more detail into what exercises, rep schemes, how many sets, what exercises are the best choices. And maybe tomorrow, the next episode, I'll go into this topic a little bit more because I didn't get to finish everything that I wanted to talk about today. So I'll continue that tomorrow. But the stabilization exercises are important, and I will give you a couple more tips tomorrow in the episode building upon today, kind of like a part 2, but specifically what kind of exercise would be better off to start with or to add in addition if you're adding some yoga and some mobility work. And those imbalances, I see a bunch of people talk about the 90-day dash program that I created and yoga changed their life. It's absolutely fucking true. It's absolutely true. Imbalances in your body, whether it's shoulder, whether it's upper body, whether it's cervical, whether it's thoracic, whether it's in the hips, whether it's in the knee region, ankle region, any kind of imbalance increases dramatically your risk for injury, and it also decreases your force production and your ability to fully activate the muscle tissue, which in turn will decrease your ability to build muscle mass and strength. So if you're trying to get big, if you're trying to build strength, if you're trying to have a good physique and you have imbalances, newsflash, you are limiting yourself by not taking advantage of some of this information than I am fucking dropping. So, more knowledge to drop tomorrow for episode 433. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me on the fucking gain train for episode 432 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular podcast, Swolecast, broadcast, livecast, brocast, beardcast in the realm. Because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our motherfucking biceps every day at 12 noon, at high noon, Gary Cooper style. Every episode is also on YouTube. You can listen to the podcast on SoundCloud and iTunes. Follow me on Instagram, ASA fucking P, because I'm going to be on there in a couple minutes to give a little recap if you showed up late here, and also my Instagram story where I drop the daily nukes and also behind the scenes ish. DM me there, message me here. Peace McGee's, deuce Magoose. I'll catch all your sons of bitches tomorrow for 433. Slaters.